Well, Christian, we're here again.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Are we ready to get into some Christmas ghost stories?
Yes.
An extension of our Christmas episode that we just dropped.
I like that.
If you haven't checked out the episode yet, make sure you do. We're giving away one of our Bigfoot beanies, and it's really easy to enter. You just got to share the show on social media. Most creative caption wins. Take a screenshot or tag us in the post, preferably a screenshot. It's easier to keep track of. DM it to us on Instagram or Facebook at Freaky Deaky Pod. That's a Christmas miracle.
A Bigfoot beanie.
A Bigfoot beanie. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Trust me, I would know. I'm a beanie guy.
I agree.
You are
a beanie guy.
I am a beanie guy. All right, this one is from a Reddit user that goes by Nutella Romanov.
Ooh.
And I've titled it The Mirror.
Wait, did you say Nutella Romanov?
Nutella Romanov, yes. Hazelnut spread Romanov.
Gotcha.
It is. Pretty great. Anyway, I stayed at my grandmother's house that my father spent a large amount of time in as a kid. My father drove us there in one go and was understandably tired after a 17-hour drive.
Ouch.
I know, right? We all started to lay down, and my father checked in on us before going to bed himself. As he was talking, he stopped himself and told us to cover a large mirror, saying, quote, "Or you will have nightmares." Now, nightmares from a mirror of all things sound like a little fun to me, but my brothers, who were also sleeping in the same room, asked me to cover it. So I did. I asked my dad about it before he'd left, and he said ghosts use it as an entryway. A week later, I brought it up with my grandmother, and she scoffed, saying, quote, "Oh, this house ain't haunted." I agreed, but told her the reason that I brought it up was because my dad told me to cover a mirror. My grandmother then changed her expression and said, "Oh, the mirror." That's not great, Grandma. Not great. Apparently, that mirror came from her grandmother. She worked as a nurse and
So the great-grandmother.
Great-grandmother, yeah. Yeah. She worked as a nurse and took in those who were going to die, but could not pay for care on their last days. So she made her home into a hospice. Those who stayed in the room with the mirror saw things. A lovely old lady saw and heard a young lady come into her room and played a harp. She was thankful for the lovely songs, but no person was known, nor was a harp owned or heard elsewhere. A young boy found an older boy who played games with him and, quote, really knew his games. Lastly, a terrible woman who refused to use the bathroom and shat in a cooking pot, then hid it under her bed, as well as argued and had issues with everyone daily, saw, and this is her words, the devil that spat fire at her.
Ooh.
Not great.
Fancy devil.
Yeah. The police were called, and she tried to accuse the nurse of trying to kill her with the devil. I also got stories from my mother seeing the same young lady who played the harp, without her harp that time, and my grandfather seeing, quote, the devil guy. My grandfather described it as a red man with horns that was too tall for the room he was in, so still standing up straight, bent his neck down to fit. Creepy image.
That is pretty.
That's
pretty
super creepy.
Did this say where this happened at?
I don't think so, no. So he bent his neck down to fit in, and it stared straight down at him and simply asked slowly, "Why are you here?" I kept that mirror covered. Dude, you know what image pops in my head with that devil guy? The Haunting of Hill House.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember that ghost that was the tall man or whatever?
Yeah.
That just kind of like float around with the... Ooh, first time I saw that show, man, it scared the crap out of me. There were so many parts in that show that it was such a great show to begin with.
That was a great show.
But yeah, that when I read too tall for the room, so he bent his neck down to fit, I'm like, oh, no.
Reminds me of, I think the name is Cernunnos, which is like a Celtic god that has horns like that and is tall. And
he's too tall to fit in rooms.
Yeah.
That's creepy, man. There's been a lot of... And I've actually considered doing an episode on just mirrors alone because I find it fascinating. But I don't know if we'd be able to do as good of an episode on mirrors as Belief Hole did. And if you haven't checked out Belief Hole's episode on mirrors, you need to go do that. Because when I heard that episode, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I could top that. It's a great subject. I just don't know if I could bring as much to the table as those boys did. And
how many times have you been lost in the multi-dimensional mirror game? From the medicine cabinet where you open it to the other mirror and you can just see infinite use.
Yeah. As a kid, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Because we had the big mirror in the bathroom and then the medicine cabinet was on the left. And I remember at one point, I just opened it and closed my face into the opening, and it was just my face and like this weird spherical doing a obviously my rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh,
You know,
I see.
No one was home, thankfully. It was just me in the bathroom. But I see a little silhouette. You know, it's like,
No, I get it,
so,
man.
I mean, if someone was home, God, I hope they buried that memory deep in their subconscious. But it is what it is. You know, I was young. I was a young 29. You know, these things happen. You know, it's fine.
Video would be priceless.
It would be priceless. But yeah, that's creepy. What do you think about the whole ghost mirror thing?
Mirrors are kind of creepy anyway.
A little bit, right?
And they've carried that
Stigma.
for forever since there've been mirrors. I mean, I think mirrors were almost considered magic at the beginning, and I think even in recent times, certain people that had never been exposed to mirrors when they were pretty shocked and scared and did not trust.
Who's this devil man in front of me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what I look like? Damn. Why do you hate me, God? No.
Could you imagine living in a world where you don't know what you look like before mirrors?
I wish I could live in a world where I don't know what I look like. I'd probably have a lot more confidence.
I bet you everybody did. That's probably why they were running around with clubs, beating on things. Thought they could take everything down.
That hits.
Then this big, gigantic, woolly rhinoceros came out.
I gotta be that size, right? Roughly?
Yeah.
I'm roughly that size, guys, right? Everyone's like,
I can take him.
definitely not.
No.
Definitely not Steve.
We
Definitely not prehistoric Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We told Steve to go for it.
R.I.P. Steve.
Yeah.
No.
We said, free beer for you tonight if you take this rhinoceros down. Last time we saw Steve, he was impaled on that rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Running across the plains.
How long are you going to take this? How far are you going to take this? Was there more? Or just until I was like, okay, that's the end.
Until Steve finds the rhinoceros find the mirror again.
Well, yeah, bring it back to the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Creepy story.
Right.
Creepy story. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve. I'm going to be looking at mirrors a little bit differently now. I can say that much.
If you have the nerve to look at one now.
That's right.
They're next level scary all of a sudden again.
You are not mistaken.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. All right, this next one, Christian, is called The Unrest Stop.
That sounds...
Dramatic music. Or oh, no, God, help. It goes, I was driving across country with my mom and sister when I was 16, and my sister was 20. It was late, but we were well rested still and alert. We were driving along an interstate and needed gas and a bathroom break, so we stopped at the only rest stop in 200 miles. There was a van full of teenagers on a road trip at the gas station, as well as a small gray car parked at the pump in front of us, with two young men standing still outside of it. When we got there, everything felt wrong. We'd been on the road for days and seen many rest stops at night, and had never been afraid until then. My mom and sister went inside, and I stayed in the car. I heard the teenagers say they were creeped out and couldn't get the pump to work, and they left in a hurry. I was watching the car in front of us, and the two men had not moved at all. Not an inch. They weren't talking. They weren't on phones. They were just standing there, still as stone. My sister and mom came running back out to the car, and when they got in, the two men slowly turned to look at us while not moving or pivoting the rest of their bodies. And I swear to fucking shit, we all saw the same thing. They had eyes dark as pitch and empty. Truly empty, not black, not reflecting any light at all, just a void. We sped out of there and didn't stop until we were in the next city. The worst thing about the entire experience? We couldn't find the place on any map. We knew exactly which spot on the interstate to look, and we couldn't find it on Google Maps or any paper map we had. We even asked locals about the creepy gas station out on that stretch of road and got only confused looks. We've traveled on that interstate since, and there is no rest stop. Ooh, that's spooky.
Time to slip into another dimension.
I know, right? That's the only explanation.
And
that's all I could think of. Unless, like, there's no way all three of you just completely lost your marbles and forgot where that place was, or the fact that there was like a van full of teenagers or whatever, and they were like, yeah, kind of creepy. Let's get out of here.
And the two watching men, seemed to know something was up
with the void eyes.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
Black as pitch.
Black as pitch. I've never heard that before.
I feel like that was like a Stephen King image.
It kind of had that vibe, right?
Like low men in yellow coats is like one of his lines he uses for. There's a custom men like that, and that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah. That's nice imagery.
Yeah.
I just picture it kind of like that creepy. It's like pitch black outside.
Turning their heads
Yeah.
in unison. Only their heads.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah, what are they, owls? They owl people? We got to look into new cryptids now? Phew.
I mean, isn't one of the people we talked about it in the past an owl lady?
That's Lala Chusa. And you will speak with respect about Lala Chusa.
I just did.
Lest she comes and swoops us away in her talon feet, half lady body. That happens.
Owls are impressive.
Very impressive. And I'm sure they'd be very thankful.
Lala Chusa.
Yeah. Miss Lala Chusa. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wherever you may be perched in a tree outside. Do not shrink me, Gypsy. That's shout out Borat. It's fine. That's not Christmassy at all.
It could be.
Bringing Borat into a Christmas, it's fine. The only thing Christmassy about this video are our hats, our sweaters, well, your sweater, and these beautiful Christmas lights.
These lights are beautiful.
Yeah. I had to switch mine out from last year because they decided to stop working, and it's fine.
Isn't it
I'm
amazing?
not mad about it.
Yeah. I mean, why? How could you be mad?
I'm
It's
not
Christmas.
mad that I went to Walmart and tried to find a matching set as that and couldn't, and all I could find were these more beautiful ones. It's interesting that telling ghost stories was kind of the way that people did Christmas back in the day. There's a part of me that thinks like maybe I would have fit, like as weird as the 1800s were, maybe I would have fit in more in the 1800s because I'm very willing to talk about ghost stories any day of the week.
I think there was a time, especially in the later 1800s, where ghost stories and ghost and metaphysical and spiritualism went crazy there for a while. And Christmas seems like the perfect time to tell a story about ghosts. I don't know why. It just feels right. Maybe it's been around so long that it's just part of us now. We didn't even realize it until somebody started writing articles about ghost stories on Christmas.
Yeah, what if they just made it up?
I mean,
They're like, yeah, we got to fill these spaces somehow. Just say ghost stories were a thing of the past.
a lot of writers are writing them, though.
Did you have favorite Christmas traditions when you were growing up? Was there Christmas traditions when you were growing up?
The only one I really had was more or less like decorating the tree. I had this one specific ornament that I had for years. It was ugly as hell, purple, glittery, but I kept it for years and protected it. And that was my favorite part of Christmas, was putting that particular piece on the tree. Nowadays they have cool Christmas ornaments, but back then
it was just Play-Doh with covered in purple glitter. And
this one was a real beautiful Christmas ball. Like,
didn't you say it was ugly?
Yeah, but it was beautiful in probably
in its own.
So it's probably to somebody back in the 60s.
I mean, it's beautiful in the 2022 definition of beautiful.
Yeah,
right? Like everyone's beautiful.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, exactly.
Personality was beautiful. That ornament's personality was, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was
next level.
It was impressive, but I also think it came from a time, because I think it was in my mom's family for years.
Yeah.
So it was an old school ornament.
Yeah, that's nice.
With the ugly color of purple that I loved back then.
Yeah. How long did you believe in Santa Claus?
Forever.
Is it weird that I don't remember when I stopped believing in Santa Claus?
Yeah, me neither. Because I think it's a traumatic event, so we block it out.
Does that mean that maybe Santa Claus does exist and it is belief that keeps everything going, like the Tim Allen movies suggest, and we're part of the problem because one day we just were like, yeah, Santa's not real?
I think we are part of the problem. We've talked about that.
Well, we're definitely part of many problems, but I'm talking specifically holiday in nature. Do you think that we're cursed? Do you think someone disliked the show so much that they're making everything that could possibly go wrong for our podcast?
No, I don't believe in curses.
Okay, well then I guess we're safe.
We are.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's fine. Now I have to constantly watch this to make sure it's not going off.
I've lost the touch.
There's small feathers flying all around my head because
probably
this thing,
from your hat.
It
keeps falling off your head.
Yeah.
What's your Christmas tradition?
My mom would make cinnamon rolls in the morning, but she forgot that she would do that. Every year she forgot, and we'd remind her back, Mom, every year you do this. And she's like, I never did that. And we're like, yeah, you did. And so she started doing it because we said she'd do it, even though she did it every year. So I don't know if we just perpetuated it as like we wanted cinnamon rolls. And we're like, hey, make cinnamon rolls. You always do this. And she's like, what?
I have a suggestion for you.
What's that?
remind your mom that she needs to make cinnamon rolls for Christmas. Because I'll be here.
Yeah, she's here. She's here right now.
Yeah, she's here. Cinnamon rolls sounds very tasty.
They are pretty tasty. Yeah. I might have to push that along. I might have to spread that message of cheer and good tidings to my mom.
Yeah.
Ma, the cinnamon rolls.
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
what is your use in life if you don't convince your mom that she did things that she never did?
I mean, honestly, not much.
Yeah, I mean,
Not much.
we're here to drive our parents crazy.
Yeah, true. Before this camera shuts off again, we've had so many technical difficulties this year and I mentioned it in the episode, that it feels like we're just chasing constantly. So before it shuts off again, Christian, say your Merry Christmases.
Merry Christmas.
And then I'll lead us on a really long.
Do you think I cursed us by talking about Santa Claus's bones in the episode?
Yeah, I do. So if you want to find out why everything's gone horribly awry, nice rhyming there, go check out the Christmas episode. It's streaming now. And you are currently on YouTube. And if you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel by now, I honestly don't know. Goodbye, camera. I honestly don't know what is going to make you subscribe. Okay. Now, cut to a picture of just Christian frozen in time because the camera stopped working for the 50th time. Merry Christmas, everyone. And
a Happy New Year. You okay?
I just can't anymore, Christian. I've done everything in my power. And this keeps happening. And you know what? It's over. Christmas is ruined. Christmas is ruined. Goodbye.
Are still by the tree. They don't mean a thing.